Welcome back. The launch of the first export consignment under the African Continental Free Trade Area marks a historic moment in Africa's economic journey. Export consignment under the Africa Free Trade Area is a bold step towards a unified African market, unblocking new opportunities for trade, growth and regional integration. Joining us to unpack the significance of this milestone is Nashikaku, Director of International Trade, Ministry of International Relations and Trade. So good evening and welcome.
Good evening and thank you.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Well, just to start with, and from your own perspective, what does Namibia's inaugural export under this agreement signify, for the nation, and how does it position the country on the continental stage?
Yeah, thank you very much. I think one have to start by saying that Namibia had been part and parcel of the African Continental Free Trade Area negotiations. It's a negotiation that have taken such a long time to be finalized. However, we are here now. Namibia is now going to launch, in fact, we are going to launch trade under the AFCFTA on 30th of June 2025. Now, that is very much important because it then signifies Namibia's readiness to trade under the African Continental Free Trade Area. And that then means that we are able then to market our products in the continent. And that is the most important thing. Yeah. And you can only do that when you meet the requirements for trade under the FCFTA. You know, negotiation is one thing, but you also need to meet the legal requirements. Yeah, yeah. Namibia have then now gazetted the offers in December 2024, that now enable Namibia now to trade under the African Continental Free Trade Area. Now we want them to inform businesses that they can now export their goods and services under this particular framework in the continent.
How does this achievement, reflect Namibia's broader ambitions for our economic transformation as well as our diversification?
Yeah, I think that question is also very much important. You know, Namibia Vision 2030 calls for industrialization. And you can only industrialize if you then build industry. You have to support and then build industry. So now, under that particular agreement now, one of the objectives is to unlock, or rather to attract investment within the continent. And one of the key areas is the one for manufacturing, creating industries, diversify production or diversify your production capabilities, and be able to have then products, variety of products to export in this particular continent. And that is very much key.
In your view, Mr. Asser, how will these, reduction of tariffs and harmonization of trade policies reshape Namibia's commercial ties across the African continent?
Okay, well, when you are talking about reduction of tariff, is one component. And I think in many agreements, negotiators do focus on tariff reduction to make it easier for goods and services then to cross the borders. But there is a bigger animal, which is the non-tariff barriers. I mean, those ones are very much difficult to manage and control. But of course, the African Continental Free Trade Area Secretariat then developed a tool to monitor those. But besides that, there are other important aspects that we should be able then to look at. Issues related to harmonized custom procedures, for example, to make it easy for goods really to move faster in a most economic manner. Very much important. The other issue is really the infrastructure development within the region. I think what is very much important is for you to ensure that at least in the continent itself, ensure that you have appropriate infrastructure, you develop your roads system to make sure that at least your transportation of goods and services reach the destination faster for you to be able then to trade in a most economic way. Yeah. That is one of the issues. The other issue is the expansion of ports, like Namibia. We have done that to ensure that at least we can be able then to export containers much more efficiently as well. Those are some of the issues that you have to look at.
Have there been any hurdles along the way, and how's Namibia navigated those, in aligning with the AFCFTA protocols?
I think currently process of implementation, they will be able now to pick up some of the barriers to trade. Some of those, I think I've just mentioned before, a number of state parties are introducing unilaterally tariff barriers to trade, and we have to deal with those. The other issues really is the modalities for negotiation itself. It does not open up for all the products to move across the continent. We have realized that, and we are actually calling for a review process to ensure that some of the products that are produced in Africa are not locked out from this particular agreement. And I think those are some of the issues that we are dealing with.
Talk to us about some of the mechanisms that are being put in place to empower, local producers and exporters to be able to take full advantage of this continental trade platform.
I think the first thing that one has to do is to create awareness and provide information, particularly on what the agreement entails. How can you qualify to export under this particular agreement? And I think we have done a number of awareness creation. The second thing is to capacitate traders in order to understand that the market is available. You are then able to access those particular market. But what is very much important is you need to have industries that can grow as well. In that particular area, obviously, you need finances to increase your production capacities. With that one, I think there are a number of options available. One of the options is to source finances from the African Bank. The Import-Export Bank is available. And it's also one of the issues that we have to address with businesses. As we are going to launch the AFCFTA, a trade under the AFCFTA, we should be able also to provide them information how they can be able then to source finances to expand their production capacity, to have variety of products to export in the market as well.
On a further note that you mentioned, public awareness, what message is it that you'd like to offer Namibian entrepreneurs that are eager to tap into this evolving African trade landscape?
In nutshell, really, we have identified a number of markets, for example, in the continent, from the west, the northern side. We tell the business the market is now open for you. I mean, you cannot negotiate and then you end up there. Now, the next move then should be able to say the products must be seen moving from Namibia into the ECOWAS market, for example.
Yes.
Nigeria, Ghana, even in Egypt. And that's the message. So what we are telling the business is the market is available. You are supposed now to be able now to access those particular market under a free trade arrangement, the one that you have said, the reduction of tariffs. And that's what we are going to tell businesses. Of course, there will be a lot of message that is going to be given. Obviously, you may be aware that this is a very, very much important occasion that is going to be graced even by His Excellency the President. Very much important to such extent that His Excellency the President even want to launch herself, because it's one of the I think it's one of the governmental objectives to ensure that at least we increase intra-African trade within the continent. Why are we not treating with each other in Africa, with the United States, instead of trading with each other here in the continent, which is very much near? And I think that is what is going to happen on the 30th of June.
Mr. Asser, thank you so much for your time this evening. We're all looking forward to the 30th of June. We appreciate you here this evening. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Well, there you have it. We're going to take a very, very brief break and we'll be right back after that.